Hey Clayton, this is Dion. Do you recommend looking for rental properties during this point in time, or would you rather have the market cool off before continuing to look and purchase? Thank you.
Well, Dion, the thing is, I've done a whole podcast episode on this with a friend of mine who's a longtime investor. And he said, this is one of the most common questions he gets. This is one of the most common questions I get. Is now a good time to invest in real estate? And the answer is always yes. The answer is always yes. Now is a good time to invest in real estate. Now, it depends on where, and it depends on what, right? So those things fluctuate, and obviously different markets, and there is no one market. There's no one real estate market. San Francisco is certainly different than Texas, and Texas is different than Montana and Fargo and West Virginia. They're all different. And as we saw during the 2008 real estate collapse, because of the mortgage collapse, there were certainly pockets that were unaffected, and then there were pockets that were devastated. Like Vegas and Phoenix and certain parts of California and a lot of places across the United States and Florida, et cetera. So if you are sitting on the fence and you're always wondering like if the market is just not right for you now, you're always going to be disappointed. You will always find a way for you to talk yourself out of something. So let's look at the facts, right? In the areas where I invest, I'm not stopping at all. I'm continuing to add on a routine basis to my portfolio. And where we are building at Morris Invest, where we're building in West Texas, specifically Lubbock and Odessa, Midland, and some other spots in Texas that I can't tell you about just yet, but very exciting. We are continuing to build because the demand is off the charts, because jobs continue to grow, vacancy rates are incredibly low, hospitals and universities and technology companies are moving there, so people need a place to live. On top of that, if you're looking at two different markets, Dion, if we look at the retail market, to buying a home to live in yourself, that's different market than buying investment properties. Remember, we have a massive millions of homes deficit for people looking for rental properties right now. We just don't have the units because there are so many people looking for rental properties to live in, and the United States has a housing crisis. We simply don't have these units. And it's going to take a long time for us to build that number of units to get up to the demand level. So knowing that as an investor, that's great for me, right? That's great because that means that as I build, I'm able to fill that with tenants. I'm able to, the jobs are there. So all of those pieces come into play. On top of that, the interest rates are incredibly low. I mean, historically low. And so when you have banks basically giving away free money right now, almost virtually 0% interest rates compared to the inflation rate, you're getting an asset that is a hedge against that inflation. And if all focus over the next 8 months, 9 months is going to be when the Fed raises rates and raises interest rates, and it has to deal with inflation as a result of this, it's because we don't have then we're worried about that. If you have assets that are protective against that inflation, that is absolutely beautiful. So again, is it a smart time to invest in real estate? It always is a smart time to invest in real estate if you're doing it correctly and if you're using the tools and leverage that are available to you. So again, getting incredibly low interest rates. Like when we work with clients, we encourage them to keep their own money in their pocket. Use the bank's money, use other people's money, and offset your purchases. Then you get to offset your purchase with that tax write-off of the down payment. Using other people's money, in many ways, you're creating like an infinite return on investment. So the answer to me always is yes. It just depends on where and what are you going to use for down payments and how are you going to use this leverage. So I hope, Dion, that answers it for you, but you can always talk yourself out of it. You can watch CNBC and kind of get scared that, housing starts are slowing down a little bit and that sort of thing. And that's because retail housing developers may be concerned about the Fed outlook in 8-9 months, but that doesn't change anything for me as an investor. As an investor, that's a totally different marketplace than the primary home buying marketplace. So hope that helps, Dion. If you'd like to ask a question here on the show, please go to morrisinvest.com/Clayton. Click on the button and leave us like a 30-second voicemail question so we can answer it here. And if you would like to take the plunge and get your first real estate investment done for you, fully done for you, just go to our website at morrisinvest.com and click on the book a call button. and jump on the phone with one of our team members. They'll walk you through exactly what we do, the funding options we have in place from our different banks that we work with, and show you the different new construction properties that hopefully would be right for you as an investment. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, everyone.